Alright, here's the video review for the 5.2 Toys AMTS series. This is, what are other numbers? Doesn't actually say. But this is ACTAEON and ENDYMION. They are part of the AMTS series. They're a series of kind of mech combiners that they put out. We've done the construction vehicle one. They did that one in Devastator colors. They did a underwater one that I've always been meaning to pick up and haven't yet. And then there's a couple of jets that combine to a robot. This is space themed, like a little rover and spaceship that can work together and then also combine into a robot slash mech. It came with a little roll of this kind of AMTS branded caution tape. I'm not sure what I'll use that for, but kind of neat. Also, each one of them came with the same set of connector pieces, and this is basically it's not specifically for use with this set. It's got a little piece that can use to join different pieces together, but also a bunch of connectors that will bridge different types of connector types. Like here's the standard. It actually says here's the 5mm to 5mm. Here's a 5mm to 4mm connector, a 3mm to a 3mm connector, a 3mm to 4mm connector, or to 5mm connector, and a 3mm to 4mm connector. So if you want to combine these things, you can see there's ports all over both of these robots, as well as several of the other toys in the 5.2 Toys series. So if you want to connect them together, you can do that with these connectors. If you get both of these, you'll get two sets of this connector piece, and then this little block that can be used to attach things, maybe even used to pull things. I'm not sure what this is. I mean, it's clearly got some ports. Maybe you can plug all of these into it as a way to store all the connectors. But either way, you get some connector pieces that can be used with all across the 5.2 Toys line of products. They do come with their individual charging cube things, storage cubes. Not a whole lot to say about them that I haven't already said about these things. They open up, they connect together side to side, top to bottom. I've actually got a whole wall of 5.2 Toys cubes in my right under my Proton pack on top of my comics in my computer room. So it's nice they can store them. I think I've got a block about 5 or 6 wide and 5 or 6 tall right now. So a lot of these things, and it's really cool that the storage system. I like that they all turn into cubes. So when you're done playing with them, you just plug them in, and it's super easy to just find a flat space against a wall to just start building your little stack. And they don't come out too far. They only come out, as far as the box, unless you start putting. I don't think they could. No, they don't connect like that. That would be silly, because then you couldn't open them. But yeah, so anyway, convenient, standard charging tubes come with these guys. I'm going to do ENDYMION first because he's the easier of the two, or the less involved, I guess, to get to the alt mode. But you can see it's cube. You see all these thrusters up here are going to be the rear end of the spaceship. You can kind of see the nose cone of the shuttle right there peeking out between these things. But yeah, you just kind of unpeg all of these various thrusters. Bring them around and back. You want to open these up. And when you collapse this into the cube, there is this hinge here. It doesn't seem like it actually. Here's the standard version of the hinge up here. It's a double hinge that it's hard to see in there. When you go to the cube, you want to make sure it comes all the way down. Otherwise, these won't line up properly. You'll have a cube, but you'll have basically. You can actually, because I did this, you can actually turn it into a cube this way, but then you'll have this much of the. Of this piece sticking out the center of it. That's not what you're supposed to do. You have to make sure that collapses all the way down, just FYI. I'm going to open them up, turn them all the way around like this, then you can come back here, extend them out like this, so that piece comes through the opening bit. Basically do that first, get all these rotated around, and then make sure these are extended, because here it is collapsed for cube mode. And you can see here's the hinge collapsed or extended for alt mode. You want to bring that up like that. You bring this down, these will come together. You want to rotate these so they're facing actually the other way. So the white goes on the inside like this, and the grayer piece comes outside. So when you open these up, the white's exterior because they're going to peg together with the ones from the opposite side here. So you can open that up, open that up. You can see these will come together like this, and then those tail fins will peg together. And that's going to be what holds it all together. You also want to make sure these, you can see these are offset, so you want to make sure these are, if you do them weird, you have to make sure they're lined up the right way, or these won't line up properly. Actually, that's not right. I had it right the first time. But yeah, get that. Here, do the same thing on the bottom, and then you're going to join all 4 of them together. Oh, no, had it right there. There we go. Flip out, flip out. Bring them down, because then these will join together like this. From top to bottom, and then these two will join on the bottom, will join together, and top to bottom over here, like that. Then you want to bring these down, and this is where it gets, where you got to make sure these support pieces are aiming the right way, because these are supposed to come together. There's little tabs in here that lock together, but if you don't have these twisted just right, and because they rotate, and they rotate in a different way to collapse the cube, it can be a little bit of a pain. And I just don't have it memorized exactly. Once you know where they're supposed to go, it's just a matter of memorizing it, and I just haven't yet. Mostly because I've had them in robot mode. Come on. There we go. Get those all together. Get the thruster core all together. Come on. There we go. And you've got like a little shuttle. I do wish that these pieces collapsed a little bit more, because it's neat the way it works, but it does leave the thruster core just attached by these beams. And I know in space that can work, but I just wish this feels like it should push up into here and kind of collapse and make this a coherent shuttle, because it looks like these pieces could fit, right in these gaps and make it feel more complete. But it's a fun look. I like the cockpit design. And I think the overall shuttle design is neat. Like I said, I just wish this core at the back didn't feel so separated from the main body. There's ENDYMION in vehicle mode. ACTAEON. ACTAEON is actually pretty cool, because this is his, you can see like his little radar dish. It looks like it's complete here, but it's actually folded up on each side and offset during the transformation process. It's really kind of neat the way that all folds up non-symmetrically to form the cube. I'm just going to kind of bring these up and out, and then unget this. No, is this tab? No, this should come up. Oh, some of this stuff comes off on pegs. There we go. So I knew that folded in from the other side. But yeah, and then this, like I said, this comes off to the side for transformation, and this does come off. These are modular. You can pop off, like if you turn him into arms, you can pop the arms off and recombine them in different ways. But yeah, this comes up. You can see there's the robot face there, and then you open up the dish like that. Don't pop that off. That piece actually slides out like that. And pop this side of the dish up. There we go, like that. Oh, this is supposed to come with it. That's what happened. I didn't pull the whole thing off. Just tabbed on there, super secure. That's the first time that's happened. Did not even realize that was a separate piece until just now. There we go. Plug that back in. There we go. Well, now, why are you not? Because that should collapse all the way in, and now it doesn't want to. Well, we'll figure that out later. But anyway, you can mess with that. Bring that up. This comes back here. These come out to the side. And flip out to the back. There's a little clippy-doo that comes forward here. Extends out. A little claw. And support gantry. How you designate this or how you have this set up can vary wildly depending on how you want to do it. Should bring this back. Should bring this around like this. Have the claw forward. Like I said, all this stuff works in tandem, where you can have it around like this, so this claw is working on whatever's back here on the deck. But there's also, like I said, there's a wheel here, there's a wheel here, there's a wheel here. So you can bring these out to the side, peg this into here, get him on his rollers. I'm gonna deck down, same over here. Wheel down, wheel down. Peg it in. You don't have to peg it in, you can do it however you want, but you can have like a little mobile platform back here as he rolls around, searches the life. This can rotate, do lots of different stuff. The platform can be flat. You got like basically a little rover and a spaceship. You can also take this and turn it into this around like this. Have this come up, attach like that. You can fold this up, and tab it from here to have it sit flat. Have this come up. And you can bring this up like this, fold it around, and you can turn this into a little, if you get it flat, into a landing gantry for the rocket ship. You kind of got to get it just right, because the weight of the rocket ship, if you don't have this supported properly, will sag a little bit. You can get the rocket ship on there. Come on. I've done it before. I actually put pictures of it on Twitter. I guess tilt it forward a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so. Helps if I don't have that tilted upward. We have the sides tilted upward. There we go. So you have them sit up there and get ready to launch the rocket like a little rocket gantry. And there's all, like I said, they're modular. You can pop them apart. There are all sorts of other combinations and vehicles you can make with these. Go ahead and pop those out to the side like this. All the way out. There we go. But then this comes around. You open up this. No, did you open up that? There's a peg somewhere that needs to come up. Anyway. Right, the legs sideways. You flip one of these up. So when you make the legs are asymmetrical. So you'll have black on one. I mean, these pieces are symmetrical. So, but you'll have a black leg on one side and a white leg on the other, depending on how you do it. You bring this up like this. Actually, no, this should be, had it right the first time, because you want, I don't know, not this before, but flip with this peg right here. One of the front piece of these, you fold these in and you flip out this allegedly foot. It's a very skinny foot. If you can get it to come out here. There we go. So bring it down, flip out the toes. You can also make him an upper body and have these be the arms, but it looks a little weird. I haven't really caught into that one yet. But and then this just kind of comes back and hangs back here. You can see like there's a leg. You can have it face forward like that with kind of a hip guard, hip armor type thing. And you can position this however you want. And the same over here, bring up the feet. And it doesn't matter which way you have it facing because all of these are the same. If you want to have the hip guards leave their fins out, you can. There's a lot of personal preference here. But essentially you're doing that and then bringing these up as kind of, like I said, hip armor, folding them down and around like that. To make a lower half of a robot. Or a mech, however you want to think of it. There you go. Something kind of like this. And once you have it all come, it looks fairly weak, especially with these tiny feet. But once you have like some weight on top and can balance it a little better, get the weight distribution a little bit more secure, it actually stands fairly solidly, like more solidly than I would have expected for such tiny feet. But yeah, let's go ahead and get the other part done, and then we'll show him off. So this part, you see, obviously, here's where he's going to connect. These are going to be the arms. I think he pulled them off of here. I think these do pop off as arms. I think we connect elsewhere. But, fold this up. There's this kind of robot mode face. This comes somewhere, too. There's a ball joint there. There we go. Yeah, oh, there we go. Open that up and rotate these out to the side. Does this come down? I don't remember how exactly we do this. So there's a hinge there. Oh yeah, there we go. That comes down like that. You can kind of fold this up on the back. Like this. So these come out, and then this comes, attaches. Do I want to do it the other way? But down here, there's a rotating piece. Rotate that up, and then there's claws. Like that. And then exterior claws like this, kind of fold back. You can have either claw forward, but that kind of works to fill in the gap as well. Comes around like this. Oh, rotate it like that. There we go. And then rotate it out like that. And then plug it into the side here. Robot arm. Let's bring this back over to the center of the. Come on, there we go, there we go. Into the center of the body. Same with this arm, rotate this piece out and about, flip in the claws. About the claws. Rotate this piece around to the shoulder, then rotate this piece out so the wheel comes to the outside. Plug it in like this. Down. Bring this up forward if you want. You see there he's got a kind of dome disc head, upper body of a robot. He can make legs too. They can both make the other half of the robot, but I haven't done those yet. Mostly because I don't like... I like how ENDYMION looks as the top half of a mech formed with two ENDYMIONs. That's the shuttle guy. I don't like it on top of ACTAEON. ACTAEON has if you have two ACTAEON combiner, that looks really sweet because he's got like an extra. He uses the extra little disc dome as a shield, and it's pretty cool. Like I said, it takes a little bit to find that center of balance, but once you do, it's actually pretty stable. Hopefully, we can bring those down a little bit more in the center of the body. His head's off camera, but there you go. See, I got a cool little space mech out of the two of them. Yep. So we keep the feet flat too. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Like I said, I like them as just their space vehicles. My only real quibble with the space vehicle portion of these molds is, like I said, I wish that thruster core on ENDYMION felt more connected to the main body of the shuttle. It's a minor complaint. But I really like ACTAEON. I think a two ACTAEON combiner, ACTAEON's at the top half here, the pictures they show of that one combination that they show off in the instructions looks great. And again, because you can pop so many of these pieces off, like his arms and things like that, the head module, you can customize your own way. Like I said, you take this and plug it on to the arm as a shield down here. A lot of different things to do, but I just think it's a neat. I like especially. I just like the dome head of this guy. It's not a dome head. It's a disc head, satellite dish head. It's very reminiscent of the tall mechs in Horizon, if you played that game, and I love those. They actually had a Lego kit of that one that I have back in my room. I would love to get more Horizon Lego sets, but that's really not up to me at this point. It's up to Lego. But yeah, there is 5.2 Toys AMTS ACTAEON and ENDYMION space vehicle combiner mech. It's very cool. Like I said, it's going to go with my other... I still have the construction mech. Actually, I haven't picked up the jet or the submarine one. I need to. But I still have the construction mech, so we'll find a place for them to display together on the shelf. Probably right there on top of the comic books with all the other 5.2 Toys stuff.